What is the worst superhero movie of all time? Welcome to DC Doom, the series where I watch every single DC movie and television series and review them on my way to becoming the most prolific reviewer of all time. I might be wrong, but I think that this is the lowest rated superhero film of all time. It's certainly one of the lowest rated DC films. I'm not sure about Catwoman starring Holly Berry. Halle Berry. What did I think about it? I'm not going to claim that this is a good movie because it isn't, and I have to say, I really, really quite enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it, let's say. I didn't really, really enjoy it. I think it's all about the context of the film. So, this is Joel Schumacher's second time directing a Batman film. He directed Batman Forever, which I also recently reviewed, and I did not like. I did not like it at all. I thought that it was boring. And the main problem was that the two villains were trying to act the same way. Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. But I think in this one, it stars George Clooney as Bruce Wayne, Chris O'Donnell is reprising his role as Robin, and then you have Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl Barbara. And then the villains are played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays Dr. Freeze, and Uma Thurman, who plays Poison Ivy. I forgot what Poison Ivy's real name is. Anyway, the first good thing about the movie is that these characters, at least the villains, they have very clear motivations and they are quite different from the villains in Batman Forever. So that makes them more enjoyable to watch. Like the villains, like Arnold Schwarzenegger surprisingly does a good job in this movie. Like I would say it's weird because it's just full of one-liners, like over the top one-liners for Mr. Freeze, but I would say he does a good job acting. He's actually acting, it's kind of crazy. And it's helped by the makeup and the special effects, but they do this one shot where he's like really sad because his wife died, or maybe didn't die, but he's trying to save his wife who's frozen and research this disease. So that character has a lot of motivation. And I think that Poison Ivy has less motivation than Dr. Freeze, but still a good amount of motivation. She's trying to save the planet. And Uma Thurman does a really great job because she's over the top, but instead of being like very theatrical, she's kind of channeling Mae West in her performance, and it's really good. It's kind of like having a classic star from Hollywood in the middle of your crazy and ridiculous Batman movie. All right, so those are the good parts about the movie. And now let's talk about the bad parts, which make the movie so ridiculous. So I would say when I watched Batman 1966, my problem with that movie is that it's a very camp movie. That's the whole point of the Batman live action series from the 60s, is that it's camp. And I thought that it was too much camp. It wasn't really for me. I didn't like it at all. I felt like I needed somebody to be with me watching it for it to be enjoyable. But this is camp that you can enjoy by yourself. I know they were kind of like, this movie is an homage to that style of Batman. And I think that's why people didn't like it, because they were used to the Burton interpretation of Batman. And this is the first Batman movie that Tim Burton didn't have anything to do with after the reboot in 1989. He didn't have anything to do with the movie. Yeah, so it's campy. And so, for example, the movie starts with Dr. Freeze, who is trying to steal a diamond. And he freezes this museum where the diamond is, and he has a bunch of henchmen. So the henchmen have these ice sticks that are like hockey sticks. So Batman and Robin arrive, and they have skates on their boots, in their boots, because, which is crazy, because why would you need skates in your boots? Like, why would you need that? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So they're basically like playing a hockey game in the first scene with these henchmen. And it's really weird because in most of these movies, the henchmen have the villains have some kind of gang, and it's not clear exactly where this gang has come from. And so, for example, in Batman Returns, Penguin has a gang, but like, where did he recruit those people? They just kind of show up. There's no explanation of that. But in Batman 1989, Joker's henchmen are actually the gang that he was the sub leader of before. So that's the only one that makes sense that he has henchmen. So he just transformed them into his henchmen, and mostly they were quite loyal. Even Bob, who the Joker betrays. I'm still mad about that, Jack. Still mad. Anyway, back to this movie. Yeah, so that's crazy. There's also a scene in the movie where there's an explosion and Batman and Robin have to jump out of this sort of like spaceship thing going into space, and they pop out the doors and they surf down in the atmosphere. It's crazy, crazy. And you're watching that. I think the moment the skates are in the boots, you're like, yep, this is not a movie to take seriously. And I think if you take it seriously, then you're going to be seriously disappointed. And I think that it's a fun movie. It's not a good movie, it's a good, bad movie. And it's weird because they weren't trying to make a serious Batman movie, but they were trying to make a lot of money with the Batman movie. And they broke even, but they didn't make a lot of money. And interestingly enough, one of my criticisms of Batman Forever that it was too toyetic. You're wondering what toyetic means. Toyetic is the idea that you should have a movie that sells toys. I didn't come up with that. That's some marketing thing. So when the movie came out, and one of the studio's big notes for Batman Forever was that it wasn't toyetic enough, oddly. So the sequel, Batman and Robin, had to be even more toyetic. And you can see that there are parts in the movie that don't really make sense to the plot, where they were just like, hey, make a toy out of this. You should really make a toy out of this. Like, for example, there's a scene on the ice, and Batman and Robin have their own hovercraft or something, and then Batman has his own like unique vehicle that has a shield, and Dr. Freeze has this tank kind of thing. So yeah, it's completely ridiculous. And this might be like a really mean criticism, because I think that Alicia Silverstone has been in at least one classic movie. Um, I think that she was in Legally Blonde, right? No, she wasn't. That was Reese Silvers Witherspoon. Um, yeah, she was in Clueless, classic movie. She wasn't in Legally Blonde. She was in Clueless. Uh, so crazy. She starred in this movie when she was 20. So she's like a year older than me. So she was so young in that movie. The movie came out in 1997, so I was in my second year of university. So I was like 19. So she was 20 when this movie came out, which is crazy. Anyway, back to my criticism. They do this weird thing where they make her face dirty all of the time, and Robin and Batman's face isn't dirty all the time, and it looks really weird, especially with better quality film now. It makes sense because she's like in this motorcycle race, and then she gets dirty in another way, but they don't make the male actor's face look dirty. It seems like some kind of weird fetish that maybe Schumacher had. I don't know. Maybe it's not a fetish. Maybe it's just that they thought it would look cool, but it doesn't look cool. It just makes her face look distorted, kind of weird. It's just a woman with a dirty face. So yeah, is there anything about this movie, anything else about this movie that's worth noting? I don't think so, but that leaves me with the rating. What would I rate this movie? I think it's difficult it's a difficult thing to rate, but if I had to, I would rate it 1 because on the one hand it's not good, but on the other hand it's better than Batman Forever. So I have to see what I rated Batman Forever, and then I will give you my rating because that was just boring. Like, I think if you're going to be bad, it's better to be interesting than boring. So I gave Batman Forever 1 out of 10. So anything above would be acceptable. But my rating system for these movies is, I think 10 is perfection, no notes, 9 is very good, and 7 is good, and 5 is like an average movie. So 1 being absolutely horrible, I'm I'm gonna give it, I know it's gonna be weird, but I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because I think it's an average movie. I mean, okay, it's not an even an average movie. It's like the parts about it that are bad make it so enjoyable. So yeah, 5 out of 10. What did you think? Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like what I do, please subscribe to the channel, give a like, leave a comment. All of those things help on my mission to becoming the most prolific reviewer of all time. Thanks. Bye.